It might not seem worthwhile to you, after all this time as you picture her. Your only sister, her cheeks still red from where your mother kissed her, her words still clinging to the air like fog, your mother, telling her she'd miss her, your beautiful only sister left face down in the mud to rot. And the soldier that killed her crushed underneath the horse that you shot, and you, after all this time, left wondering whether it was worth it or not. But if I was to say something to you, it would be this. If you hadn't packed your small brown suitcase with the small brown items of clothing you'd collected in your few short years, if you hadn't left despite your mother's tears and fought through a ransacked village, trampling over the bloodied bodies of your former peers, if you hadn't boarded that boat, bound with the promise of it all being over, and stepped off in America, only to discover it was Dover, if you hadn't strode confidently across that foreign land, armed only with painful memories, your now alien mother tongue and a small brown suitcase in your hand, then you would have never stood sharp-suited before the woman you married, never held in your arms your son that she carried and saw he had your mother's eyes. You would have never met his child's baby daughter, never felt proud of the things that he taught her, and never know how much she reminded you of your sister, your mother's only daughter. And so if I could say something to you, it would be this. You may feel like you failed. Your sister, the one you should have saved, never boarded that ship that you sailed. But just because you couldn't save her that time, you still saved your family, just the ones generations down the line. They stretch out further in front of you than those who stand behind. Because without you, if by some miracle they survived that persecution and the probable reality of a brutal execution, if somehow, through all of that, they were left alone, without you, years later they would have been wiped out in a concentration camp in the very country they called home. Their yellow stars burning desperately somewhere in 1940, before my granddad had a chance to tell me this story, before his father opened the factory that became his pride and glory, before my mum, your great-granddaughter, became the first person in the family to go to uni, before my brother followed in her footsteps with a Cambridge degree, before my parents had the chance to have me and I had the opportunity to go to Poland myself, and stand in a windswept brick-brown city littered with swastika graffiti and feel for the first time like I was part of a minority, my ancestors standing pillar-like behind me, making up a line of the people who define me. And so you see, if I could say something to you, it would be this. After all this time, it was worth the risk.